Hi, this is Todd, and I'm going to help you learn how to use the one-to-one initiative that your district has adopted, along with some skills for going paperless with the subscription website Explore Learning that you've also subscribed to. So once you've logged into your Google account and also logged into Explore Learning, you choose a gizmo. The gizmos are simulations. Now, these simulations cover a lot of different subjects in science that will address NGSS. I've picked Element Builder to use. This is a good basic one having to do with atomic structure. Every gizmo comes along with a student exploration sheet, which is instructions and guided examples through the simulation that will guide the student through the concepts that you want them to learn. It comes with an answer key for you. A teacher guide with background information on the gizmo, and then a vocabulary sheet. Today, we're going to concentrate on the student exploration sheet. There are two versions that all these files come in. One is PDF, which is static. You can't change it. And the other is the ability to customize through a Word document version. When you click on that, one of a couple things will happen. If you happen to have a Word conversion or Word reader extension, then you'll get something that looks like this, which is the student exploration sheet for Element Builder, basically exactly as it looks, or nearly as it looks in the original file from Explore Learning. Sometimes it doesn't come out perfectly. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a margin issue or a little extra space that was spread out. Sometimes that's from the conversion of the graphics. Hard to say exactly why it's doing that. But that is in the Word format. Now, Word format is great, except that if you're going to move into a paperless situation using Classroom, which is another recommendation that I would have, then the Word version isn't going to work. So we're going to need to convert it to the Google Doc version. So you can do that one of two ways. If it's got this reader on there, or this reader extension, you click on Save as Google Docs. It'll do that. It'll open up a document, a Google Doc version of it, and there it is. Looks pretty much the same, except the header graphics worked a little better on that one. If you don't have that extension, then instead what happened was the file was automatically downloaded into your download folder. So if you go into the folder that you want to use, click on New, and you've probably done this before, File Upload, and then give it a second. It'll come up with your various folders, and you'll want to go into the download folder whenever that comes up. And then when it does, there we go, then click on Downloads, and there's Element Builder, and we're going to click on Open, and then it'll upload it. Now I'm going to cancel because I've already done this. So there's your Element Builder with a big W next to it, meaning that it's a Word format. Right click on that, open with, and click to Google Docs, and it'll open up in Google Docs. If you've changed your settings, you can change so that all uploads automatically convert when they upload. You might have done that. If so, then you would see the Google Doc there already. Okay, so here we've got the document. From this point on, you can customize it any way you want. I do a couple of things, just having used gizmos since actually the company started about 20 years ago. What I like to do is to make an area for the students to be clear about where they need to type. And so I'll put a bracket in and a couple of underscores, and then I will convert it into or highlight it using the highlight background and using some sort of color. I'll be standard and use yellow here. And then that way, any place where I want the students to type, I can put in that highlight with the brackets, and they know exactly where they need to type. Sometimes you got more space than you need, so you can highlight the whole thing and just put in a space there. And so it kind of works like a macro on Word. And so you can go through and again, make all these areas where you want to type. In addition, if you go and look at it quite often, like you saw on the other one, you might have something that doesn't belong exactly where it is. The spacing didn't work out right, so there are things you can do to take out some space where it's too much. Quite often I take the images out in the header. That actually makes the header a little smaller, and then try and take out some lines. What I also do is change the margin to 0.5 all the way around, but that's just a personal preference. Anyway, then you get to the point where there you've got just one page, and the next item is there. This one image didn't want to go exactly where it's supposed to go. And I'm going to move that down because it goes down in here. and usually change the images to wrap text because then the text moves the way it's supposed to, and so forth. And then there you go. And so you can go ahead and again you can continue to highlight what you need to for students to write in. Another reason why we do this is you notice up here it says question, what are the properties of protons, neutrons, and electrons? That's a rhetorical question. It's kind of your driving question. You don't need to have them answer that. And my students quite often would try to answer anything that had a question mark. So by leaving the highlight out of there, they know that it's a guiding question. And you go on and whatever it is that you want them to answer, you just highlight it. You can take things out, modify. You can create a version of this for your students in need and so, or that have special needs and so forth. Just whatever you want to do. Also, quite often the Gizmo exploration sheets have have other lessons built in, like for electron configuration, and down here for periodic table, you can take those out and make them different files if you need to. But once that's all done, then you just go ahead and close it. What I'm going to do is change the name to it to atomic structure. So later on, if I want to make another one, I can go back and start from the beginning if I want again, and then change for different lessons. So I got atomic structure. Now I'm going to close that. Now you can go into your classroom, into your class, create an assignment, and then I'm going to title it atomic. If I can type structure Gizmo, and, whatever you want to call it. Put in any instructions you want, like 1, open the attached worksheet. And then if you click on your drive icon, and then it'll come up with a recent, and atomic structure is probably right at the top because you just got done with it. There it is, element builder atomic structure. Add that. I usually put in a link just to make it easier for the kids to find it. One very important thing on your Element Builder Exploration Guide, make sure you change that to make a copy for each student. That makes a template, and then every time the kid opens up their assignment, then they will have one with their name on the file. And then you click Assign, and away you go, and you are set to go completely paperless.